what we got going today is we're developing a seep up on the hillside here. In the spring and summer months, it's a regular spring. This is the first week of September. We have severe drought here in Montana, central Montana. But that seep up there is still putting out, maybe a half gallon a minute. It's located right up in this area up in here. And what I want to do is put a cofferdam on it and run the water down to our cargo trailer there. It's a 25-foot cargo trailer, and it's serving as a cabin. So there'll be a tank in between the spring and the trailer, but that's what we're up to. Well, this is the spring up above the trailer. I've dug it out a little bit. Give you an idea of what it's doing there. I think it's about a gallon a minute now that I look at it. I got it back into the bedrock there, or into the rock. It's all rocky right there. So now I'm going to put a cofferdam across in front of it here and then pipe it out. We'll show you how that goes. For the cofferdam on the spring, I've taken a 40-gallon feed trough and I've cut it in half. And I'll show you how that works out. I'm going to go ahead and start putting fittings on it now. Okay, I've decided to go with a 2-inch PVC fitting. These through wall fittings are from above ground swimming pool, and I think they're going to work just fine. They're heavy duty. On Amazon they're like $6.50 a piece, so really good deal. What worked on these was an oil filter wrench. There we go. Okay, what I've done is I've taken a piece of 2-inch pipe here and I've drilled it. And this is the overflow. So I know it looks like it's on the bottom of the tank here, but this tank is upside down. This will fit in here like this, get glued in. On the end is going to be a cap. What I want to do is keep gravel from going in here. These are 1/2-inch holes. My gravel's larger than that. And just to keep from plugging up the overflow. The overflow is pretty important because in the spring and early summer, this spring really flows a lot. And then in the wintertime or in the fall and during the winter, it slows down to a trickle. But this ought to handle it. Okay, now what I've got going here is I've got 2 more pieces like this overflow. These are going to be for where the water comes in. And it's going to come out like this and then 90 and go back to provide all the inlet I can. From what I've been able to research, what I've come up with in my research is that these tend to plug up, these systems, after a couple of years. So periodically you got to kind of dig them up and clean them out. So what I'm trying to do here is provide all the intake I can, so it goes as long as possible. And that's what this will do. Now you can find systems like this online, or there is a company that makes these, but I just didn't want to spend the money, and I like to do things myself. So this is my rendition of this cofferdam. Okay, this is what it'll look like now. Once again, this is upside down. The intake there, that the U-shaped intake will be on the bottom. This will all be filled with gravel to catch the water, and I'll show you how the front of this cofferdam goes now. Just wanted to mention another reason I decided to do this cofferdam myself is because the one online has 1-inch fittings. And this one I needed to go with 2-inch, mainly for the overflow. Like I said, in the springtime, my spring takes off pretty good, and I wanted to make sure that this thing didn't get blown out of the bank. So this is 2-inch line. Okay, now the T I've put in the overflow is so that periodically I can stick a funnel and a tube in there, and I can run the tube back into the cofferdam itself and pour bleach in a couple times a year to shock the system. So that's a cap on top that comes off. And then I'll finish up the overflow when I actually get it on site, so I can put the proper angle in to get it pointed down the bank in the right direction. Okay, and that's the lower fitting that I put on, and it's a coupling. So the coupling is because in the wintertime, before it freezes, I'm going to shut the system down. And the way I'm going to do it is just to undo that coupling and let the spring flow. But that way I can get all the water out of the line and make sure so the line doesn't freeze on down to the trailer. And I'm probably going to extend that coupling out a couple of feet so it clears the dirt. But basically that's the setup. And now you see the setup right side up. This is essentially what it's going to look like in the installed position. And the next thing you see is when we install it up on the cabin site. You got to be careful with springs. We did have this water tested, and there's no fecal coliform in it. But springs usually contain, coliform bacteria that may not hurt you. But just to be safe, we're going to, bleach it on occasion. I also might filter the drinking water itself. But pipe comes down. And this spring doesn't put out a lot of water, but it puts it out constantly. It does that year round, just like that. Linda's been leveling out a spot for the reservoir. We're just using a 55-gallon plastic drum. And the water will lead into that. And then on down to the trailer. It's a cargo trailer that we converted into a nice tight cabin. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Yep, okay. Okay, I got the drain line installed, and it's a 2-inch drain line. There's 1 inch coming in. So I just put a 2-inch overflow going out. And you can see there's water coming out already from the barrel. And now we're ready to start running the pipe from the barrel down towards the trailer.